Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Institute of Directors, London and South Director of the Year's Award. I'm here at the IoD following the briefing that I was given that I should turn up wearing a dinner jacket and looking like a penguin. So I'm here, but I can't see anyone else. And I've just been told that in fact, you're all at home, hopefully dressed as I am, if not, at least wearing your day pajamas. We are here today to celebrate and to honor directors of great achievement in our 2020 awards ceremony. However, we also have a parallel theme today, which is to think about all those young people who have really suffered during the course of this pandemic. We don't yet know what the full psychological impact will be on all the young people, on their education, on their careers. And that's why today we are supporting Childline, a wonderful charity which is there to support youngsters through their mental health. And later, you will hear from Dame Esther Ranson about the charity and the work that that charity is doing. However, let's not forget that young people are incredibly resilient. And what you've just heard is the result of young people, children coming together from the Whitgift School in Croydon and the Old Palace School in Croydon, singing together in the Croydon Minster Choir. And they've just discovered a wonderful new art form through their ability to be so flexible. And I'm sure you'll agree that that singing really, really got through to us and to our hearts. So to all the young people, thank you very much indeed. Before I go any further, I just want to point you out to something which is a bit of housekeeping, and that is that we do have a chat available as part of the webinar. Please feel free to write nice things about what goes on during the course of the award ceremony. So I'd like to now spend a few moments to thank everyone that entered and sent in their nominations to be part of the award ceremony. So to all of you, I wish you all the best for the future and for your success. In particular, I'd like to thank the finalists for their wonderful submissions and for reaching this stage. Now I'd like to thank the judges who have worked voluntarily to ensure that all of our finalists are of the highest quality. You can see all of our judges here, and as you can see, they are preeminent in their own fields, very qualified to perform the job that we've asked them to do. In particular, I'd like to point out John Palmer, as I will call him the chief judge and overseeing the whole of the judging process. It's not easy, particularly when you have to do it remotely. I'd also like to point out Jitesh Patel, CEO of Peldon Rose, for stepping in at the very last minute and spoiling his holiday, I would say, in order to help us through the judging process. Thank you very much, Jitesh. Now, I'd also like to thank this year's sponsors, who are Schroders Personal Wealth, Unity Trust Bank, the Planet Mark, and Blend Marketing. We are eternally grateful for your support. It has been incredibly helpful to have that support to get us where we are today. And finally, I'd like to thank our guest speakers, who are Dame Esther Ranson and Charlotte Valeur. I'm sure you'll agree that both these women are women of outstanding achievement, and you have to admire the things that they have done in their lifetime, which we all look up to. In particular, I'll just point back to the young people and ask them to use Esther and to use Charlotte as role models. Perhaps look them up and see what they've done and how they've done it. It will help you to become a director of the future. So, as we said, we are today supporting Childline, and I'd now like to introduce you to a pre-recorded video which has been made by Esther to give you a glimpse into what it's been like to be a young person during these difficult times. So I'll hand you over to Esther.
Now, the reason we are particularly grateful to you for raising money for Childline this year is because it has been such a tough year for the nation's children. There's all the worries that they already had, the mental health issues they were already suffering, and we were getting so many calls from children that were depressed, anxious, eating disorders, self-harm, all kinds of problems affecting them. But of course, thanks to COVID, if their homes are not safe places, if school was the only refuge, the only place where they felt safe, it was out of reach for them. So they turned to us. And I remember hearing from our volunteer counsellors how many children were saying to Childline that they just wanted to run away. And our job was to help them, support them, if necessary, send help to them, otherwise reassure them, empower them, comfort them that things were going to end, things were going to get better, not to worry, not to think that this was going to be the rest of their lives were going to be led. Now, in order to do that, I'm afraid it takes money, because we've had to change our technology so that our staff could work from home. We've had to improve our response rate so that more and more children could get through to us. We've got to request from our volunteers yet more time, and they have risen to the challenge. So I've just written an email of thanks to someone who's giving 4 shifts every week instead of the 1 shift she used to give. But we do need to pay for all this. So the donations you give Childline on the Just Giving page Every penny will come to us, and we promise we will use it to help more children through these tough, worrying times. I wish they could be here to thank you in person. Please allow me to thank you on their behalf, on behalf of all the nation's children who are turning to Childline. Thank you for making it possible for them to get through. Thank you.
Esther, thank you very much for pointing out some of the challenges that young people are going through. It just occurs to me that had we been having a white linen dinner in some venue in London, everyone would now be approached with a charity box, and you'd be getting your wallets out and suddenly realizing that you only had a £500 note and scrambling to see where you'd get the change from. But we've avoided all that embarrassment for you by giving you a simple link where you can go to the Just Giving page and in the privacy of your home, give away all those thousands that you would have done otherwise. So please do support the Childline charity. Of course, as directors, we have the responsibility not only of supporting people in our society like young people, but we also have the responsibility to create wealth. And therefore, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a video from Schroders Personal Wealth to give you an insight into what they do. So, fellow directors, make wealth, enjoy wealth, and give generously. It is now my absolute pleasure to introduce a friend and a woman of courage, a woman of clarity of vision and of direction. As you know, Charlotte is the ex-chair of the IoD, and during her tenure, she brought about the most amazing changes to the IoD. She refocused us on our Royal Charter to support directors and to develop them into rounded people supporting society. She also introduced our decentralization program known as branch primacy, through which we will be much, much closer to our membership from our branches. Thirdly, Charlotte also launched the Centre for Corporate Governance, and I think that initiative will be a legacy which we will be proud of for many years to come. You're probably also aware that Charlotte came out and announced her autism at the peak of her career, an incredibly courageous thing to do. So without further ado, Charlotte, please.
Thank you very much, Faisal. Much appreciated. That was a very lovely introduction indeed. I'm so pleased to be here. Thank you for everyone who's here and taking part. Congratulations to all the finalists. I know how exciting it is. I was once a finalist myself. It's a great step in the right direction. Change is what I'm about. Some people call me a change maker, and I guess I am. And maybe I never really fully understood why I am. It just happened since I was very, very young. And change happens when we speak out, in my opinion. Speaking out is quite courageous to do, because it can mean certain things comes to become different to what you might have wanted them to be. And for myself, I felt that I needed to speak out as we went along with life, and I found things about myself that I didn't used to understand. The whole cover and the whole intention on supporting children is something that's very close to my heart. I realized some 5 years ago that I was autistic myself, which explained a lot about why I found my childhood so difficult. I thought it was simply because it was quite difficult, actually. But as it came out, it seemed to have become more difficult by the fact that I'm also autistic. It took me being 53 before I found out. But as a child, in the past, I was a very, very quiet child. I didn't participate in school much. I was virtually non-verbal up until around 10, when I realized that if I said nothing, I could literally die and nobody would notice, or at least that was how it felt like. So I started speaking out more, especially as I went into teenage years. Nobody understood autism those days. Nobody got diagnosed. It wasn't even talked about. Nobody knew it existed. But in hindsight, it has been in my family for many generations. Unfortunately, my dad had passed away now, but we do believe that he was too, and his sister believes so too. When I first sort of found out that maybe I would be autistic, doing a self-test online, I thought, surely not, that doesn't seem to fit. So I did another 6 tests, and they all kind of showed the same. And then I looked back at my life and realized that although nothing had changed, everything had changed. And some of the difficulties I had as a child could really be explained through that. And this is where resilience comes in. It is possible for children to be incredibly resilient, but it is something that we need to be very aware of. We need to make sure we support them the best we can. And having like the child line to call is something that can be very important for children to be able to reach out in that way. For me, for example, at 15, I started to self-harm. In fact, I cut myself on my face, and I didn't really understand why I was doing that. Somehow it felt better to have that pain, maybe physically, than to have it inside. So this was sort of not fitting in so much, that was playing in there a lot. But of course, it took me to the present to say, well, there's other children still out there, even with lots of people being diagnosed. There's still a number of children that suffer. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. And those children we have to help. And this is why this is so important. When I came out is such an odd thing, because people think of came out or coming out in many different ways, but this is what we say about autism as well. What I had was hundreds of supportive letters and messages, which meant a lot. And now we have to stop being emotional. Sorry about that. Once I've gone through all of them and contacted the people, it was clear that there was a very, very strong need for a voice for neurodiverse people. So I intend now for the future to set up an Institute of Neurodiversity in the UK, where we can start being a voice for those people, and maybe lobbying so that we can influence for change in this area, as well as all the other diversities that I'm very supportive of. Equality is really key for everything we do. And we really need to have that push for equality to come in through the arts, the sports, the businesses, the government, academia. Everywhere it's necessary that we push for this, and we put some of our lived experience to the table and talk to people about it, so they understand that it's something you live with all your life. And that's a good thing, because it makes us push for change continuously, and that's what I want to do. So going forward, you're going to be seeing and hearing a lot more of me, not just through the IoD, but generally, because I just need to do this. And I think that's part of being autistic. I can't let go of it. My mind is stuck with needing equality everywhere, and it will continue. So with that, I'll pass over to Faisal again, I believe, looking at my, no, sorry, I'm passing over to Alan, looking at my order here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you for that fascinating speech. I have to say, you've actually made me quite emotional. So apologies if I show that as well. But thank you. It's great to have you with us today, Charlotte, and our finalists, talking so openly and honestly. We really, really appreciate it. Charlotte, you're of course staying with us to present our first award today for Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Director of the Year. So back to you in a moment. But first, before we get to that award, just some quick housekeeping, if I may. Each of our awards this afternoon will be presented by a sponsor or close friend of the IoD, and my thanks to each of them in advance for their support, both to the IoD, but also to Childline, our charity partner as well. After our presenter announces the shortlist today for each category and opens the envelope to highlight our winner, they will read a few comments that the judges said of our worthy winner. At which juncture, winner, we shall be bringing you onto the screen so you have time to be dressed, ready and presentable for the watching audience. To make that process slightly easier, can I just ask all of our finalists today just to double check that your name, your Zoom name, is your actual name and not Donald Duck or anything else that you might use on pseudonyms on the side. So just your normal name, please, so we can find you a bit quicker and easier. Winners, you will then have 40 to 60 seconds, please, to thank your parents, your colleagues and any relevant deities before I come back on screen to announce the next award. So cheers, tears and celebratory beers are absolutely fine, but in the immortal words of the Smiths, please don't bore us, just get to the chorus. For now, good luck to all of our finalists today. And now to our first award of the day, the 2020 award for Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Director of the Year. To present this award, ladies and gentlemen, I give you again Charlotte Valeur, Global Governance Group, and until very recently, our own Chair of the IoD.
Thank you very much, Alan. Much appreciated. I'm delighted to present this award today. As you just realized, obviously, and maybe knew already, diversity and inclusion is key to my heart. We are looking to, so I'm sorry, I'm just waiting to have the finalists come up on screen. So the finalists we have are Jenny Stanley, Appetite Creative Solutions, Claire Martin, Jardine Motors Group, Permina Sen, Sparta Global Limited, Rena Goldberg, Lynch, Voice at the Table Limited, Ellen Fardat, Migrant Leaders, the Fardat Foundation, and Jacinta George, Reading Scientific Services Limited. And I have this little piece that I'm going to open to see the winner. The winner is Claire Martin of Jardine Motors Group. Congratulations, Claire. Wow. Everybody clap at home. I'm just going to read out the citation from the judges. The judges felt this individual is an impressive winner which shows personal leadership and dedication, resulting in financial success as well as employee engagement across the board. Well done, Claire, and congratulations. And congratulations to all the nominees as well.
Well, thank you very much. I'm incredibly honoured. A huge thank you to everyone that supports me at JMG. Really, really proud. So huge thank you again. And yeah, looking forward to building on the success we've already had.
Thank you, and congratulations to you, Claire, a worthy winner. And thank you, Charlotte, for presenting that award.
Thank you very much.
Our second award today is the third Public Sector Director of the Year Award. This category has been kindly sponsored by Unity Trust Bank. To present this award, may I therefore present Susan Selman from Unity Trust Bank.
Thank you, Alan. I'm delighted to be here today on behalf of Unity Trust Bank, who is sponsoring the third and Public Sector Director of the Year Award for 2020. The finalists are Andrew Green, the Craft Guild of Chefs, Joyce Fraser, Black Heroes Foundation, and Claire Hook, Imperial College Healthcare NHS Trust. And the winner is Claire Hook, Imperial College Healthcare NHS Trust. Well done, Claire. And before I hand over to Claire, I just want to say how delighted we are at Unity to be involved with the event today, which is supporting the great work the Childline's been able to achieve during this very difficult and unprecedented time. We will be donated to the online giving page, and I'd very much like to encourage all of you that are here today to do the same, just to make sure that Childline can carry on its great work for the future. Now to our worthy winner, Claire, to say a few words.
Thank you so much. I am absolutely delighted. So it's been a very strange and challenging time for everybody, I think, over these last few months, but for the NHS in particular. So this will give us all a real great lift. I'd also like to say that leadership and management offered and isn't all that celebrated in the NHS. So I'm hopefully going to use that to just remind everybody how important it is. So thank you once again. I couldn't be more happy.
Well done, Claire.
Thank you, and congratulations to you, Claire, on your win in third public sector category. And thank you, Susan, for presenting that award. Our next award is for the non-executive Director of the Year. To present this award, I'm pleased to welcome David Stringer-Lamar, Fortis Consulting Group and IoD London Chair.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Alan. It's a great pleasure to be here at the headquarters of the IoD, and terrific as ever to be involved with our great friends and colleagues in our South region. So a big thank you from myself to the London and South region teams who put enormous amounts of effort in to put this event together in our virtual space. And of course, thank you very much to the judges, the finalists, and of course, our sponsors. And the list of finalists are, or is, Megan McCracken, Folk to Folk. Kate Hardcastle, the Diana Award. Notice how I seamlessly move my head backwards and forward in line with instructions. It also tells me here to pick up the envelope, and the winner is Megan McCracken, Folk to Folk. Fantastic. Great news. Well done. Terrific. And what does it tell me here? I'm going to read out the citation from the judges. So the judges felt this winner is highly attuned to the modern pressures around ESG and wider stakeholder issues, especially in the finance and fintech sectors. Well done indeed. If you would now like to say a few words, please.
Thank you to the IoD and the judges for this prestigious award. You know, the Non-Executive Director Award recognizes a business's ability to serve all stakeholders, which is particularly important in a crisis. And I feel like Folk to Folk is a great example of this, delivering 10% in growth and profitability while supporting small and medium businesses with financing and sustaining our local communities. And finally, I'd just like to thank Fidelity China Special Situations and its chairman, Nicholas Bull, who have supported my development as a board director.
Thank you, Megan. I would now like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dame Esther Ranson. But before she speaks, and indeed many of you have already seen that she has internet problems right now, so we were fortunate to have a backup, which is to pre-record her speech. But before we hear that, I just want to give you a little background on Esther. In 1841, her great great-grandfather migrated from Warsaw to London. And I'm very pleased to learn that because I'm also a second-generation immigrant. So I hope that my great-grandchildren emulate some of the achievements of Esther. Did you know that she is a native of Berkhamsted, along with other worthies such as Graham Greene, the author? She read English at Somerville College and is now an honorary fellow of the college. Also in 2010, she stood as an independent parliamentary candidate as a protest against the parliamentary expenses scandal. So a person with many talents. I'm sorry that she can't be with us today, but please listen to her wonderful speech. Thank you.
Now, it may have escaped your attention, but it hasn't escaped mine, that as I was born in June 1940, I have just turned 80. I like to think of myself older, but not old. But when you're 80, you got to bite the bullet. I don't think 80 is young by any means. And to celebrate, there is a program called That's Life, which you're all too young to remember, which ran for 21 years on BBC One. And 60 people who worked on That's Life united via the wonders of Zoom to send me up rotten and share memories. And they were very funny. Of course, my arrest pleased all of them enormously. It happened on a rainy day. I was out in the streets in Hammersmith in London, and I was handing out bat stew. Now, if I tried to hand out bat stew now, I would really be arrested, would I not? Because no one's eating bats these days. But in those days, people didn't realize the danger. And I think I may have sampled it myself and lived to tell the tale. Anyway, there I was handing out bat stew to see if people liked it in the North End Road Market. And a policeman, a constable in full uniform, came up to me and said, "That's it, my girl, move along." So I said, "But officer," in my most polite way, "Officer, I have stood on this corner for the last 12 years, asking passers-by their views about various topics. Why have I suddenly got to move along?" He said, "I don't care how long you've been standing there. Move along, or I shall arrest you." Well, I took that seriously and I moved across the road to another corner. Now, the trouble is that on the other corner, there was nobody. So I couldn't hand out my bat stew. So having talked to myself for about 5 minutes, which I'm wont to do at the age of 80, but I'm not sure I did as often then. Anyway, having talked to myself, I then couldn't see where the police officer was, so went back to my original corner and started to hand out that stew. Whereupon the police constable, who I believe was waiting in ambush in the doorway to the gas showroom, came out and said, "That's it, my girl, you're nicked. I am arresting you for willful obstruction." He might not have spoken quite like that, but those are the words he used. Then he started talking to a walkie-talkie, and up came a black Mariah. Now, it may surprise you to learn that it was the first time I've been arrested. So I got it wrong. And instead of getting in the back where the criminals go, I got in next to the driver, where I used to sit next to my husband. Not in a black Mariah, I hasten to say, but in an ordinary vehicle. But the constable, who obviously had initiative, decided he wouldn't haul me out, but he got in the back where the criminals go. That, in retrospect, gives me quite a lot of satisfaction. Anyway, as we pulled away from the curb, I wound down my window and shouted to the crowd, "Will you please speak up for me and say I wasn't willfully obstructing?" And back came the cry, in unison, "Guilty!" And off I went. When I got to the police station, there was a rather ferocious person being interviewed by the station sergeant. He was covered with tattoos and chains, and he had loads of knives. But the moment I arrived, the station sergeant ignored him and turned to me. And I said to him, "Officer, nobody said to me I'm not compelled to say anything, but anything I do say will be taken down and used as evidence." And he blanched with concern and immediately said it to me. So then they took down my particulars, as they tend to in police stations, and then I went into a police cell and I said, "Hopefully, are you going to search me?" Because I thought, this is rather a dramatic moment. I might as well go for it. It might not happen again. Anyway, the police officers said no, they weren't going to search me. And somehow or other, my crew had discovered where I was. I don't know how. And they arrived to collect me. And I left. I don't know whether anybody had to stand bail for me. But they drove me to outside Harrods, which was going to be my other location, where there was what you might describe as a phalanx of photographers who all took my picture. And it appeared in all the papers, Esther Ranson arrested, giving the editor of Private Eye, who loathed me, great satisfaction, since he hoped at last my sins had found me out and he didn't realise it was for handing out bat soup. Anyway, when I got back to the office, I discovered there were cynics in the BBC who thought I'd engineered the whole thing for publicity, to which I said, had I known it was going to happen, I would have got my hair done, because you will imagine, in the pouring rain, I was not looking my best. What happened as a result of that, I hear you ask? Well, I can't hear you ask because we're on Zoom, but I suspect that may be going through your head. Well, the trial happened in Horseferry Road, I think. I didn't know there was a court there. And I pleaded not guilty because I wasn't willfully obstructing, but the other ladies who were done for obstruction, who were also walking the streets, but mainly at night, told me that even if you stand on one leg perfectly still, people can do you for obstruction. It's a sort of catch-all, and they advised me to plead guilty. But I stuck to my guns. I pleaded not guilty, and I was convicted nonetheless. And I was fined £15, which the BBC paid. So if you were alive at the time, you paid, because it came, I'm afraid, out of the licence payers' money. So that's another thing you can blame the BBC for. Now, I'll tell you the worst thing about that story. Some years later, Michael Aspel said to me, "This is your life, Esther," with the Red Book, and took me away to a studio where voices from my past confronted me. And there was one voice I didn't recognise, until he said, "That's it, my girl, you're nicked." And would you believe that policeman, who had been dining out on the story of how he arrested Esther Ranson ever since, was invited to appear in my This Is Your Life. The only other point I would like to make is that I discovered that his name was A. Herbert. And A. Herbert he certainly was. So that is one of my more memorable moments that my friends on my 80th birthday enjoyed sending me up about. The other one, of course, was some of those talented pets. Those of you that remember That's Life, which I think you're all too young to remember, may recall that we had talented pets. We had a reading dog, we had a counting horse, we had a cat that played ping pong, and we had the most famous of them all, Prince, the Yorkshire Terrier, who could talk. And what he said was, and I expect you're all telling me at this time, all together now, sausages. And he said it by dint of his owner waggling his chin, so it went, sausages. Now, I have some anecdotes to tell you about that. One is that actually he's not the first talking dog. If you Google it, you'll see that Thomas Edison trained his dog to speak. So there you are. The other thing is, I feel I should tell you about Prince, the talking dog, is that he didn't just say, Esther. He also said, Elvis. He also said, Jersey. And once he said, Esther. And the other thing is, he made a record. I don't think it got very far in the charts. Well, it's difficult to think of a moving lyric that includes the words sausages, Elvis, Jersey, and Esther. But it was nice he did. And then I'm afraid he passed away. But he is immortal. I remember seeing a commercial for baked beans where a dog was looking, hopefully, at a saucepan and said, sausages. So there you are. And the third thing I want to talk to you about hasn't got a great deal to do with That's Life, but it has a lot to do with my favourite iconic figure, national treasure, who cheers me up about being 80, because her name is Dame Joan Collins. Now, Dame Joan Collins and I were named in the same honours list, which from my point of view was a disaster because it meant that we were both had our photographs side by side on the front page of the Daily Express. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure I stand comparison with the wonderment and the glamour of Dame Joan. Anyway, it was a wonderful event when she was named because Percy, her fabulous husband, who I can't actually remember, is either 20 or 30 years younger than her. Percy, he's lovely anyway. He invited me to her Daminess party, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Pink roses everywhere, a bit like this event. Do you know, only pre-COVID, so there were more people there, if you follow me. And someone told the anecdote about when she married Percy, and a journalist said to her, wasn't she worried about the age gap? And she said, no, if he dies, he dies, which is one reason I love her. The other reason is that I interviewed her many years ago on a program I did for Meridian Television down in the Southwest. And I've never forgotten it. She was absolutely wonderful. She arrived looking glorious, the way she always does, you know, perfect brunette curls, impeccably arranged. I don't know if you ever saw Michael Parkinson interviewing Dolly Parton and saying to her, how long does it take you, Dolly, to do your hair? And she said, I don't know, I'm never there. So I slightly got that feel about those perfect Joan Collins curls, but they were impeccable. And she looked as beautiful and glamorous as she always did. And she was as warm and funny and clever as she always is. So I was very brave before the show, and I asked her whether she'd mind if I interviewed her. And then at the end of the show, we had a discussion with another guest who was called Mary, the 92-year-old footballing grandmother from Middlesbrough. And Mary did exactly what it said on the tin. She was 92. She played five-a-side football, modelling her style on a Middlesbrough player called Ravanelli. I think he must have been Italian. And whenever he scored a goal, he pulled his jumper up over his face. So Mary did exactly the same. Anyway, Joan was a grandmother. Mary was a grandmother. It occurred to me that they might like comparing notes. Put it to Joan. She said that would be a lovely idea. She loves being a grandmother. So that's what we arranged. So the show started and I interviewed Joan. And by that time I was really bold, because she was so easy to talk to. And I said to her, Joan, you've had so many great men. Who was the best? And she said, oh, your husband, darling, which pleased him and surprised me. And then, after her interview, we showed the film of Mary, the 92-year-old footballing grandmother, running around the football pitch, scoring goals, pulling a jumper over her face. And then at the end, the two ladies sat on the sofa and discussed being grandmothers, and it was absolutely adorable, and everybody enjoyed it. And then the show ended, and the audience applauded, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, Dame Joan Collins, and she rose and did a wonderful dynasty twirl and began to walk off. And Mary, the 92-year-old footballing grandmother, looked after her and said, oh, I do hope I'm as pretty as that when I'm her age. And that is my anecdote about Joan Collins and Mary, the 92-year-old grandmother. And thank you so much for joining us. And I would remind you, I hope you don't think it's impertinent of me. If you work out what you would have spent if you'd had to come to that wonderful venue where we were going to come, and you doubled that and made it a donation to Childline on the Just Giving page, it would make such a difference to our work. So on behalf of all the children you've helped, and on behalf of myself, congratulations to everybody for not being there. And congratulations to the award winners, and much love from Esther Ranson.
Amazing. Does anyone remember how many seasons That's Life was on for? No? 21 seasons. That's an incredible achievement. And guess what? I was an avid watcher of her show on a Saturday night, and she had a wicked sense of humor then. And by Jove, she has a wicked sense of humor now. If we were on stage together in the real world, I would actually give her a big hug right now. But apparently those sort of things are not allowed anymore. So in the meantime, I'm now going to hand over to Alan to continue with the presentations. Alan.
Thank you, Faisal. Our next award today is the International Director of the Year. To present this award, I'm pleased to welcome Richard Maybury, Attitude Solutions and IoD Surrey Chair.
Thank you so much, Alan. And thank you so much, Esther and Charlotte and everybody else. I'm delighted to be presenting this award. And the finalists are Peter Webb, Electronic Temperature Instruments Limited. Adrian Moore, Extract Limited. Danny Brooks, VHR. Jacinda George, Reading Scientific Services Limited. And Siddharth Mukni, UK India Business Council. And the winner is Danny Brooks. Congratulations, Danny. Very well done. The citation says that the judges felt that this business, which was built from its very foundations on being international and to serve its varied customers in an incredibly customer-centric fashion, is simply exemplary. So well done, Danny.
Thank you very much, Richard. I'm not sure if I'm live at the moment, but if I am, thank you so much to all the judges for voting for me. It's indeed a massive honour to be winning an award from the IoD. I think the International Director of the Year award for me means quite a lot. We've built my company up over 17 years to trade in 52 different geographies. We're now obviously all of us suffering the COVID-19 epidemic, and we've got Brexit around the corner. So I think what we can do with our businesses in the UK to promote international trade is going to be very, very important as we turn into the new year. So yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone for voting for me, and I think that's it for me. But yeah, congratulations to the rest of the winners, and good luck to the rest of the finalists. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you for those words, and congratulations on your win today. And also thank you to Richard for presenting that award. Our next award is the Social Value and Sustainability Impact Director of the Year. This category has been kindly sponsored by the Planet Mark. To present this award, I'm therefore delighted to welcome Steve Malkin, CEO at the Planet Mark.
Alan, thanks ever so much indeed. And what a wonderful ceremony this really is. I know we're not all there in person, but this is one of the most moving awards I've been involved with, and it gives me some great pleasure to be able to present our finalists here. For each one of these incredible finalists that have made the most amazing and real contribution to society. And the finalists are Alexander Reep from Oxford Nanosystems, Yvonne Obuaya from Corrado, Paul Bates from Clean Kill Pest Control, Daryl Arjun from Reuse Technology Group, and Yarmila Halavovsky-Yo from Unique Marketing. And here is the golden envelope, which will tell us our winner. And I hope all of you are very, very proud of the contributions you have made to society. And our winner is, with bated breath, Yvonne Obuaya from Corrado. Yvonne, well done and congratulations. We'd love it if you could say just a few words for us. Thank you.
Thank you and good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I had a bit of a technical hitch there. So I'd like to thank you all for this win, which I've made. It's a great honor and I'm delighted to be recognized for my work. This wouldn't have been possible without the inspiration of my seniors and my colleagues, from whom I gained strength to challenge myself and improve at every stage. So thank you so much. It's a very important award. And I'd also like to congratulate the other finalists as well, because, you know, it's, I say winning isn't always the thing, it's about raising your profile. So well done to everybody who's got to this stage. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations and thank you, Yvonne. Just to get back over the citation that the judges had for that particular category, the judges felt this winner has incredible knowledge to identify areas where maximum impact can be implemented. Always having the finger on the pulse of the community, they can clearly see where there is an opportunity to develop and implement services to increase the social value within the community. So congratulations again, Yvonne. Thank you, Steve and the Planet Mark, for supporting and presenting that awards. And now, our next award is the Family Director of the Year. To present this award, I'm pleased to welcome Alison Russell, Russell Publishing Limited and IoD Sussex Interim Chair.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm absolutely thrilled and delighted to be here, and it was a treat also to be taken down memory lane by Esther earlier on. Now, we have the nominees for this category are Philip Spencer from London DE Limited, Oliver Butts from Christina May Limited, and Jacqueline O'Donovan from O'Donovan Waste Disposal Limited. And now I've got my envelope to open, choosing my favourite, rather dangerous letter opener here. And the winner is Oliver Butts, Christina May Limited. Well done, Oliver. I'd like to read the citation from the judges. The judges felt that this winner has a well-balanced and focused business, and they were impressed by the long-term sustainable approach and balance between business and family engagement. So very well done to you, Oliver, and let's hear a few words from you.
So thank you very much for the award. I'm absolutely delighted. And being a family business, it certainly would not have been possible without my mother and father giving me the strong foundations with which to grow the business, and also to be strong mentors throughout, and actually really allow me to fulfill my hopes and aspirations in my working life. And I'd also like to thank the amazing staff that I have working with me during what has been a very challenging year, and one which we all must evolve and to grow with to succeed. So yeah, thank you for everyone. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through our awards. I say halfway through because we've done 6, but you thought we had 5 left, but in fact we have 6. So there is an award at the very end, which is the Chair's Award, and that will be to someone who's been a winner already. So we look forward to that. And now I would like to give you a little break. We are going to have an interlude. We're going to be listening to that wonderful choir, and this will last about 4 minutes. And before they start, I'd like to offer my personal thanks to Dr. Ronnie Krippner, who is the head of music at Whitgift School, and thank him for bringing the choir to our event this afternoon. So we're going to have about a 4-minute break. It's a good time for you to go and recharge your glasses, maybe get some more of that fine toast out for the caviar, or just make a coffee. 4-minute break. We'll be back very soon. Thank you.
Welcome back from your short break, ladies and gentlemen. Please do retake your seats. Our deepest thanks to the Croydon Minster Choir for that beautiful performance. Our next award is the Innovation Director of the Year. To present this award, I'm pleased to welcome Raj Singh, Innotatio Limited and IoD Berkshire Chair.
Sorry, apologies for some breakdown. Thank you, Alan, again, and thanks to Charlotte and Esther for thought-provoking speeches and showing that emotion is the key point to win the trust for any leader, and you have demonstrated that enough in your practical life, and we saw a glimpse of that today. So thanks very much. Delighted to present the award on the innovation category. And the finalists are Peter Webb from Electronic Temperature Instruments Limited, Chris Sykes from Volume, William Sacheti from Academy of Robotics Limited, Tim Brownstone of Chimera, Alexander Rape of Oxford Nanosystems, Pam Battison from Thrive Partners, and Jacinta George from Reading Scientific Services Limited, and also Jason Danziger from Hannah Group. And now I'm going to look at my golden envelope and see who the winner is. The winner is Tim Brownstone from Chimera. Congratulations, Tim. I know you are not here in person, and I think your colleague Kyron Blay will be able to take the award on your behalf. Before I bring Kyron in, could I just read the few words from the judges? So the judges felt this winner was a young and exciting company with lots of new innovation and ideas. So congratulations, Tim, once again. And please may I invite your colleague Kyron to say a few words on behalf of you.
I'm not sure if it's come up on the screen yet.
It has come up on this.
There we go. Perfect. Hi there. Thank you very much, Raj, for this award. And Tim is on a plane on the way back from holiday in Crete and is going to have to unfortunately self-isolate for 2 weeks now. But on behalf of Tim and the team here at Chimera, thank you very much for this award and innovation. For us, we've been from the start of Chimera 7 years ago when we started trading, our goal has always been to innovate in the medical and sports technology sectors, and we continue to do so this day with technology that's coming out over the next couple of years that helps save lives and help people have better daily experiences. So we look forward to bringing those to the fruition. And I know Tim would be super happy and proud to receive this award in recognition of his efforts over the last 7 years. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Handing back to you, Alan.
Fantastic. Thank you. And congratulations to Tim. Thank you, Kiran, for that presentation. And thank you, Raj, for presenting that particular award. Congratulations. Our next award is the Startup Director of the Year. To present this award, I'm pleased to welcome Rina Dayal, author, leadership coach, and acting chair of IoD Central London.
Thank you, Alan, and hello, everyone. Absolutely delighted to be with all of you today. And very grateful to be at the IoD Directors Lounge at 116 Paul Ball. So let's carry on with the list of finalists for the startup category. Jason Danziger, Hannah Group. Paul Finch, A People Business Limited. Liliana Reza, Superfin Limited. Alex Greenhalgh, Spintex Engineering Limited. Harry Spear, Caribbean Elective. James Bush, NHCC. Lisa Ingill, Berkeley Capital Group Limited. And the winner is, congratulations to all the finalists. You are the silver lining and role model for many out there by showing the power of starting up. So congratulations to all of you. The winner is James Bush, NHCC. Congratulations, James. And while you come online, here's a citation from the judges. The judges felt that this is a strong winner with a clear plan and vision with actions on how to bring them to life. Congratulations, James.
Thank you very much, Rena. And thank you to the IoD and the judges. I'm absolutely delighted, but I would like to thank the entire NHCC team who have really made this a huge amount of hard work and effort, and I am very grateful to them all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James, and back to you, Alan.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Congratulations, James, and thank you, Rena, for presenting that particular award for us. Our next award is the SME Under 5 Million Turnover Director of the Year Award. This category has been kindly sponsored by Blend Marketing. So to present this award, I'm therefore delighted to welcome Sean Sweet from Blend Marketing.
Thank you very much, Alan, and thank you to all at the IoD. I know you've put an incredible amount of effort into putting this event on, which can't have been easy. The list of finalists are Carleen Jackson from Cloud9 Insight, Steve Hodges from Astro Technology Group Limited, Ben Hunt Davis, Will It Make the Boat Go Faster, Pam Locke from Locke Associates Group, Rebecca Strafford from the Business Change Collective, and Yash Dabal from AY&J Solicitors. And I can announce that the winner is, if I can get this envelope open, it is quite a thick envelope. Steve Hodges from Astro Technology Group Limited. Congratulations to Steve. I'd just like to say that the judges said and felt that this business is a business with a very clear vision and plan. The director seems a real powerhouse of positivity and hunger for change and growth. They give the impression of being demanding of the best and working at pace, but recognizing that the need to take people with them. Congratulations, Steve.
Hi, I'm not sure if you can see me. Just click and go. This was working earlier. No?
We can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, brilliant. That's probably best anyway. So thank you very much. I'd also like to thank the IoD, all of the judges, and obviously all of the production team behind this. It's been a superb day so far. I'd really like to say a massive thanks to everyone at Astro Communications for supporting me and at Rise Communications for helping us to put this together. And I'd like to add my congratulations to the finalists, not just from this category. I've spoken to some of the finalists in this category, which shows what a great community the IoD can create, but also in all the other categories as well. Thank you very much indeed. I'm absolutely thrilled.
Fantastic. Thank you, Stephen. Congratulations on today. And thank you to Sean and Blend Marketing for that award. Our next award is the SME from 5 to 50 million turnover Director of the Year. This category has been kindly sponsored by Schroders Personal Wealth. To present this award, therefore, I'm delighted to welcome Chris Barnes from Schroders Personal Wealth.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a fantastic event to be part of, and Schroders Personal Wealth are absolutely delighted to be sponsoring this award, as am I delighted to have the opportunity to present it. So at SPW, we believe in creating confidence in financial futures for our clients, and indeed a number of our clients have or are indeed now directors in such a space. So this is very close to our heart. So let's have a look at the nominees for the award. Peter Webb, Electronic Temperature Instruments Limited. Paul Robinson from VHR. Dr. Nasser Siabi, Microlink PC UK Limited. John Moss from KFP Total IT Solutions Limited. And Jason Paul Clark, PEW Electrical Distributors Limited. So let's find out who's the winner for this one. And the winner is Dr. Nasser Siabi. So congratulations, Dr. Nasser. A citation from the judges, an impressive performance in a really difficult marketplace, driven by a clear vision to make meaningful interventions that matter for people whilst improving other organisations' effectiveness. Really well done, and please come and say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, switch off the mic. Sorry, I think we have some technology issues here. Thank you very much. I'm incredibly honored. This is a good achievement for my company. The people who work here, they're incredible, and it's an important time for us because the company is working in an area where I'm sure millions of people will be affected by the COVID, and I think it's time we should highlight this, and I'm delighted that we've won. It's second time winning the IoD and same category, so I'm double proud. Thank you very much.
Congratulations and thank you, Dr. Nasser Siabi, and thank you to Chris and Schroders for supporting that particular award. Now to our special award for today. This award celebrates the highest scoring newly qualified Chartered Director. And here to present this award, I'm delighted to welcome back David String-Lamar from IoD London.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Alan. I think it's been a terrific series of awards this year, and obviously some great leaders out there and all the terrific nominations. I just really want to say thank you to all the business leaders, the members who strive so hard and put in so much time actually to their companies, because obviously companies, public sector, third sector, these are the bedrock of our industries, of our sectors, of our community, of our society. And it's been terrific really being part of and watching how we've had to adapt, and we continue to adapt in the present changing situation. So it's great that this virtual award ceremony is going so well, is so interesting, and the fact it's taking place is a great testament to everybody that's involved. Now, certainly, I'm part of the IoD because I believe in its core functions, which for me is around helping make business happen. And so really, it's terrific, this event where we get to celebrate the leaders, the nominees that are actually putting it out there, creating wealth, creating jobs, innovating, helping, and actually just sticking at it and believing. Because really the IoD, as we know, 1903, that's the past, we're the present, and here we're looking at the future as well. So thank you very much. And I'm going to say it for being actually part of Team IoD. It's a terrific institution, and it's made up by people like you, me, stakeholders, sponsors, and everybody. And it's terrific to actually be here in the national headquarters. So great stuff. Great, it's my pleasure then to look at the newly qualified Chartered Director 2019 who achieved the highest scoring across all three qualifications, certificate, diploma, and the Chartered. Now, as you know, there are four pillars of the IoD: corporate governance, advocacy, entrepreneurship, and enterprise. And a core one there, the fourth one, is director's skills. This fits nicely in there. Highly skilled directors, highly skilled companies, giving back, being part of society. And we have here, let me see, it tells here, opens the envelope and announces the winner. Well, that's quite exciting. Let me have a look, see if I can get this one open. It's quite tough. There we are, the golden envelope. And the winner of this incredibly prestigious award is Anne-Marie Mountfield, Chartered Director, Solent Local Enterprise Partnership. Fantastic, well done indeed. That's excellent. I would now like to ask the winner, Anne-Marie, to say some words.
Thank you very much. I have to say I'm deeply honoured and very humbled to receive this recognition at this award ceremony today, and actually to sort of share in the achievements that others have, and my congratulations to all the award winners. The Chartered Director qualification for me was a personal journey, having been a director for sort of 9 or 10 years previous, and it really has been a game changer for me, has given me great confidence and has allowed me to bring in some of those skills and attributes that I've picked up on the journey really back into the boardroom. And I really do want to thank my colleagues and my board colleagues at Solent Local Enterprise Partnership, and my family who've supported me on this journey as I've gone through the various stages, and also the IoD, as I do believe it has been very invaluable to me at this particularly challenging time for leaders and businesses, and I would commend it to any of the participants today as a journey that I would recommend to anybody thinking about enhancing their very high skills. So thank you very much again.
Fantastic, thank you. Congratulations, Anne-Marie.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the pinnacle of our awards, which is the Chair's Award. And this is to be awarded to one of the other 11 winners today. And it is awarded for what we think is the director that represents the all-round capabilities and skills that directors need in today's environment. And that's not just about being in the boardroom or in managing the business or managing the finances. It's about being good members of society and supporting all the stakeholders involved in our businesses. So, without further ado, let's identify the 3 candidates for this particular award. They are Claire Martin from Jardine Motors, Danny Brooke from VHR, and Megan McCracken from Folk to Folk. And it is with intense pleasure and pride that I am now going to open the envelope for the winner. And the winner is Megan McCracken, Folk to Folk. Fantastic. Well done, Megan. And I hope you're all clapping at home as well. The citation for the winner is that Megan's submission demonstrated her full and rounded approach as an active director meeting today's challenges. She provided lots of examples of addressing both strategy on the one hand and risk assessment issues on the other. Megan shares thorough understanding of the role and responsibility of directors and the board. And I think for me, that's the crucial bit, which is an all-round understanding of the responsibilities of directors. So Megan, would you please say a few words?
I would just like to say thank you so much. Seeing the award winners today and reading on some of the finalists, it's a really an amazing group to join, and I'm honored to be here with you all today, and thank you to the IoD.
Thank you, Megan. And thank you to all our winners. I think this year we've had some outstanding directors who've won awards. So congratulations to all of you. I think now that we're very close to the end of this particular event, I can reveal that we too have had to learn an enormous amount to put this particular event together. Like the children who were singing virtually, we too have had to adapt and to learn how to put on an event like this. It's not easy, particularly when things happen out of the blue. You will all know that Esther had internet problems at home, and thank God we had a backup. And I think that's what it's all about. It's about preparation, preparation, preparation. And I'm so glad that we've actually got to the end without a major calamity. So now that we're here, I'd like all of the winners to now come forward and stand with Charlotte so that we can have a photograph taken. Please come forward. I think we're still all coming. I'm not seeing everyone here yet.
I'm sorry, did you want the presenter as well?
Presenters come next.
For now, if we can just have all of our category winners, please, and Charlotte, please turn on your video. That'd be lovely. Thank you.
So are we all here? Nice big smile, please, and a wave to the camera. Yay, fantastic. One for the photograph album. And now I'd also like all of the presenters to come up on stage so we can have a photograph taken. Are we nearly all here? We're going to have to be socially distanced. Come on then.
Is that about a meter?
Big smiles, everyone. Please wave. Wave to the camera. Fantastic.
You're supposed to be looking at the camera.
And guess what? We're all now going to sing Ubi Caribas together. Shall we go? Do you know the words? You look like the choir. Fantastic. Okay, so there is one person that I want to mention without whom we would simply not have been able to put this event on. And he basically coached us through all of this technology. He coached us through our reticence to come forward and actually do the things that we had to do. And so I would now like to ask Andrew Griffiths. This is completely off script, Andrew, but I'd like you to please come forward and say a few words.
Yeah, you didn't prepare me for that. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thanks to everyone who's been involved. One thing I would like to note, because I feel like things have gone so smoothly that people might not realise that our winners absolutely did not know that they were coming onto screen. they were not prepared for coming on. All of our finalists were tuning in, and so I've been very impressed with how seamlessly the winners have adjusted to all of a sudden me pulling them up onto the screen. But thank you to everyone who's been involved. It's been a huge team effort behind the scenes. It's slightly surreal doing awards in a format like this, and there's lots to learn and lots to adapt from. But thank you everyone for coming along and watching. Thank you congratulations to all of our winners and to the finalists. Even being a finalist in the IoD Awards is honour enough, having previously been a finalist myself. So yeah, thank you to the whole team behind the scenes. We should really be bringing up Juliet, Polly, and Lee, who have also all
Why don't you bring them up?
Bring them up. Get your cameras on, guys. Or I'll force it going through and ask you to start it now. But it really has been a team effort behind the scenes, and so yeah, I certainly cannot take all of the credit.
Okay,
yeah.
So one of the things you'll note is that Andrew is apparently sitting in the IoD. Okay. But the good thing is that actually he's been sitting in the IoD for the past week and a half while we have been doing all these rehearsals. And the amazing thing is that those girls that are sitting behind him have been sipping the same cup of tea ever since we started the rehearsals. I don't know how you do it, Andrew. Technical, superb. Thank you so much. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, all things and all good things must come to an end. And before we do end, I want to thank you for being such a wonderful audience. As I said, like the children from the choir, we had to adapt in order to bring this show, this event together. And in future, I think we're all going to have to learn how to do this kind of thing as the new normal. When we finish, we're going to play the very last piece from the choir. It's called Litany to Holy Spirit, and I do hope you listen to it before you go. I'm simply blown away by how the children from these choirs come together virtually and make these things happen. So enjoy that. And finally, it's Friday afternoon. Goodness me, it's nearly the end of the week. Personally, I think I've had enough for today, and so I'm just going to rush away from here and go to my golf course, where my pro tells me that I only have one problem with my game, and that is I stand too close to the ball after I've hit it. So with that, thank you very much, and goodbye, everyone.